everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're going to be taking a look at match number 6 from round 8 of D.LEAGUE, the 2023-2024 season. It is going to be between DYM Messengers and Septeni Raptures. So DYM's pretty tough to beat in the sense of the authenticity of pocket that they have, but Septeni has done a really good job of bringing concepts and gimmicks about what they do that can really help them in kind of combating that. So I'm pretty pumped to see how this goes. Without further ado, let's go check it out. Ooh, they got the airbag jackets. Puffers. The puffers are divine. Ooh. Hey. Hey. Ooh, look at them cleaning it up. They're getting cleaner. Nice. Ooh. Wow. That was an incredible situation that we're seeing right here. Wow! Whoa! All right, so the concept, there really wasn't a concept, which is totally fine. I actually prefer that a lot of times. I just love watching dance. It's just beautiful. This was freaking phenomenal. Like, bless it. This was dope. How they just started from the forefront. There's some of the choices that they made in here that I have never seen a whole group commit to, which is really fun, especially near that tail end. So I'm excited to dive into that. But I really love how they're vibing it out. Really like the enjoyment of everybody making different choices, hinging in different ways, you know, allowing that wow, 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 tone setting, pretty much what they're doing, which I really like. I'm a fan of the fits for sure. I mean, I think those are like brown puffer jackets. I haven't really seen brown as much as I've seen like other neutrals. This is really dope. And I like that and everybody accents down. When I say DYM has cleaned up their cleanliness and synchronicity, it's a complete understatement. From round 1, I mean, well, their round 1, which would be their round 2, to now is so different in terms of cleanliness. And that really is what is going to keep them really tough to beat. Because they were getting good, decent votes because their style is really hard to do well with a group. So that really worked in their favor, but they just were not clean. And now we can't say that as much. They are getting clean, like Jose 8 rocks clean. So this is so sick. Goodness gracious. Just the setup's really nice. Everybody's down, ready to go. Ding, 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 ding. Dynamic matching, but individual choices. Love that. Like that boom to do, and then we've kind of broken away with our 2-part feature on this. Love that as well. That swing through looks really nice. He goes, I love the little switch outs that are happening here in their chair freezes. I think that's what they're doing right here. And some of them didn't quite complete that roll onto the back, but I mean, that's fine. Nothing crazy there. Because a new focal point in the back corner, I think, is what helps supplement that. Rolling it back to a kip up. Nice and clean there. I love that. Hopping it out. Really great. The rock and the bounce in the pickup is just incredible. DYM, I still feel is like the Wolflow of Japan. Like, this is what this is giving for me in the best compliment possible. It's incredible. I love that with the hit, boom, and then they take it and they roll it down. Backwards roll, not as clean there, but definitely cleaner than what we've seen. I like that boom and a ta-ta, nice little trot-trot action. Great usage of staging. Their spacing is really improved as well. Looks great here. Love the hop there, boom, and then they drop it. Gosh, and everybody on the same page of the degree that they're hitting that leg. Really nice to see. Taking it through, da-da-da-da-da. And then the hop here, he did a little pike action and then he dropped to finish. That was very impressive. Was not expecting that at all. And to the degree of how stable he landed it. I was expecting a total blowout, like wipeout, but he did not. Love that boom, boom with a double, the snake over, dropping it through. Nice little slide. Some of them chose one arm, some chose both. I think it was an individualized choice, but everybody committed. Love the hop with the trot. We're like we're slipping and we're trying to pick up and catch our feet. That's all great. That looks super dope. I love that little da-da-da-da with the little hook action. That right here was so dope, where they go here, and then they slow it down. Ooh, they rode that so well, and then they sped it up. Yeah, and then just have that whole little section is super dope, and they bring it around. Super dope. They kick it up, and then they slowly come up. Amazing. That boom, da-da-doom. Really love the energy on this. Bringing it through, it does remind me of what Valuance did earlier in the round. Just this kind of like action right here. I think it's fun. Fun little overlap. Bringing it through, love, great usage of hinge. Not everybody on the same page in terms of range of the hinge, but it was still really nice that everybody started and finished at the same time. I love that ding, 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 ding. I really like that choice too. Now, some of them drop it, some look at it. Once again, individualized choice, but because they're showcasing more competency in unison, it helps us appreciate their individuality more. So if you're somebody who's like, wow, I actually like this more than their other stuff, that's why. I think it's a really great thing to think about. This right here, he goes and he freaking, he strobes through that, is sick. Is amazing. Now, I wouldn't even give it the style strobing, but I would say like that dynamic of just his stops and interruptions throughout his progression is sick. It's beautiful, and I love that they showcase a little cipher moment always in their stuff. It's so beautiful, and then everybody's slowly melting away. And he takes his jacket and he slowly brings it back. Oh my god, it's so cool. They bring it around. I really love that energy. They step through, the bleed up and energy on that too. The pick up the foot, and then they drop it down nice and quick. Still having your feature, ding, ding, ding. Now he's strobing through here. And then the turn through where they dropped it and to slowly come back up. Now this part is so cool. I don't think I've seen something like this before. This is very creative on a transition side. You have people, it's basically just like a dropout, or you have some people move and walk away, then you have people that have to hold it. They just collapse on the freaking ground. Like, it's not like... It's not as simple as just like rolling on the ground. Like, it is a flat, like what is it? Fainting goat. It's kind of like that. Fading goat energy here. And they're melting out of it. That is the coolest transition. Man, that was so cool. They slowly melt up. The nice quick turnaround. Notice some people struggled, like they had a little bit of stability check, but then they were able to recover it very quickly outside of the stuff. People dropping, come back up. And then everyone having a nice little jerk jolt of energy through, which is really cool. And then they slowly finish and melt up. That was sick. That was freaking sick. Wow, what a start to this match. Woo! So in general, this is exactly what DYM needed to do to make it as difficult as possible for Septeni to take the match, because they have authenticity of style on their side so freaking deep, right? In Septeni, they have cleanliness on their side too, and they have a lot of concept integration, which can really help them, but it all depends on what they choose to bring, their song choice, their usage of dynamics, and how they're going to ride the rhythm, because it's really hard to beat an authentic pocket like that. Woo! Okay, let's go take a look. Hey. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Wow, that was cool. Nice. I like the travel on that. That was cool. Impressive too. Yeah. Nice. Oh, that was nice. Woo! That was cool. Okay, so the concept is about a bolt, an electric, current, something along those lines, which totally makes sense here. So audience vote. I think at Septeni will get audience vote because of some of their members are affiliated with Jet Boy Bangers. So that's what my guess would be. If I like my personal preference, I don't really have a preference out of the two, honestly. So I may just go off of after I look at the the criteria and that kind of stuff. That would be who my audience vote would be as well. So I'm gonna make that note here. Septeni. Okay. So from the top, I do like having the red around framing this little white little spotlight. Super dope start. A little burn, nice little rock influence a little bit there with just the tonal colors of what they have. And I like the fact that it goes in frames from a little bit more spaced out and then they condense it a little bit more. Super cool. Slowly comes up, that little, I love that. And that light drops out, super dope. Then everybody's just kind of transitioning and traveling across. Looks really cool. The switch on this, I really love the fullness of the rock and the balance. If you're going to do that, you have to do it that full, especially if you're against a group like DYM, because that is their bread and butter, you know what I mean? So you have to match that energy and some. So here, I love how they take it, a nice little partner work from the trio now to a duo, and then having it framed out. Really great spacing on this. Great fullness, boom, really like that choice. The melt through, bringing it back up, dropping it down, ding ding. Love that melt here. Really cool. Doom doom. Really full. Super dope. I love that. Doom 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 doom. Super cool. Like ding ding once again. Super sick. And once again, boom 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 boom. Building that up. Looks really cool. Then they take it, they trace it up. Not really trace, but they kind of place it. And then they take it and they drop it, throw it out. Love that dee 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 dee. Picking up the energy. Yep, love that choice. Boom, boom, boom. Now, has it been on the simpler side in some of their choices? Yes, I would say in comparison, because remember, it is a direct matchup. Yes, they're kind of making it to where here's this criteria and, here's your point values, and if you take the item, you do. But based on feedback of judges, the judges compare between the two. So that's why for me, I think I'm safer to do a direct comparison in comparison to like a normal competition where you're just being judged on a criteria regardless of who you're against, and wherever the cards fall. That's more objective in nature. But I like the bleed up of the energy. I like that when they take it and they, instead of just waving it up, they kind of invert the wave, which is really nice. Swinging it through, boom, everyone's full of energy, which is nice. Great unison, which is something that works in their favor for sure. But DYM cleaned up a lot more this match. This was really nice. They are riding a bit more in the whole counts. They do syncopate it ever so slightly. I love the ding, ding, ding. I love that triple on that. Super cool. I love that as well with the accent with the head. Super dope. Honestly, there's a lot of things that Septeni does that I really think if Sega Sammy did, there's like overlap. I would say like the execution of the head that you see here with Septeni is the exact note that I gave Sega Sammy, that if they clean that up, it really, I think they would have taken more items personally from me. But I do like the choices that Septeni's making, but it does feel like a simpler version of what DYM brought, which is very similar to, I think it was the match between DYM and Valuance, where their sets were very similar, but Valuance brought a more difficult set and they were cleaner in comparison to DYM. Hence why I was totally like expecting Valuance to win, and they did, because they both have authenticity in their style. So like that's not, you're not combating that nearly as aggressively as Septeni has to, you know. But notice some of their overlap in their rock and their bounce. It is a bit more on the it's the skill set of it is there. It does carry that authenticity. However, when you look at difficulty, it's not as difficult. It's not as syncopated. It's not as polyrhythmic as what we were seeing in Variance to what we saw from DYM. So that's something that I have a feeling that Septeni may not pull this out this time because of that. But I like the turn, was super dope. They also didn't really have a concept. They have it with the music more so than the physical, like, props usage and things like that, like what Avex did, which I think is totally fine. Once again, I do prefer having groups. If one group's going to use props, the other group should use props too in your matchup. I think that makes it more, it's just easier to compare, I think, out of the two. But I like this choice, that ding, 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 ding. They pick it up. I love that hold, and then having him travel is really difficult. But then they go and it drops it down. Not as clean in the drop down, but that's very minimal. I like that choice. Da, 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 da. Nice little accent of our duo pair. Looks really cool. I love this. I really like that choice. Looks super cool. I love that bleeding it up. Really nice engagement right here from our center features. That boom. That was cool. They take it, boom, transition around. Ah, man, some of their choices on their musicality are really captivating. So, like, that's something Septeni has always done very well. That melt through, especially my girl right here. Gosh, she's so good. That little melt, the commitment to the back looks amazing. And everybody dropping in that circle once again. Very nice to see, very captivating. And then moving on from there, now it's yellow light instead of red light. So that was really cool. Bringing it through her, she has to hold it, and then she has to isolate with the hands. That's super dope. And notice that it was carried by our other feature, really cool. And the travel, great usage of levels. Then having some of our guys have to literally like drag their body across the floor on the shoulder. Really cool. So I really appreciate the risk taking on this leveled formation in the sense of like maintaining spacing. That was super dope. And then from here, instead of traveling everybody over, they then started to turn it more into like, it's not really an add-on, but like a branch off. It was super dope. I love that. And then having one person right there. That was really cool. I'm always a fan of that. I'm always a fan. I think that was like a mix of a little Arabian action right there too. There's the opposition with the legs and the hooks of that. Super cool. The speed change was super dope too. So when it comes to like collective breaking stuff, they did a pretty good job on that. But you did have 1 point feature, and then everybody joined in on more of the footwork and the floor work. So that was fun. They are operating a lot with 2-part features, which is definitely enjoyable for sure. Switching it across. I love that. Taking it through very clean. I like having our feature in the middle do a nice little variant of the lower half of the body. Super cool. Love the switches of the feet. Really cool there. Switching it through and the bump, da-da-da. Really nice seeing that building in the energy. Boom. Nice with the head. This is what I was talking about. If Sega Sammy did better in the sense of getting their heads all on the same page, it would really captivate just as much as this one did at the end. That boom, boom. I love that. Boom. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. I love that. Bleeded the energy, bleeding it up. Boom. He takes it and they go, nice little jolt at the end. Melts it back in, and then they're still going. Nice little lower half of the body melting in. Head, look. Bleeding it through. Boom. Bleeding that energy through. Looks really cool. I love that. Da-da-da-da. Boom. Love that pull as well. And then we do a nice little speed change. Nice little blackout. So, okay. Septeni, I think, is taking an audience. When it comes to skill, I'd have to give that to, I think there was more difficulty in DYM's set based on what was overlapped. Creativity, I like the creativity of Septeni's set. I also like DYM's in the movement sense, but we'll give them items based off of that. So I would say Septeni definitely, I mean, they had really great creativity in some of their choices and levels. Choreography, ooh, I'll skip that. Style, DYM. Also, when it comes to perfection, I would give that a tie. I think both did a fantastic job of that. If we're gonna go choreo, I think DYM had more variety in how they were featuring people and the variants that they gave, as well as the dynamics and textures. I mean, they were clean, which is exactly what they need. So especially their skill and their style, easy DYM for that. Septeni is way more competitive though in that creativity aspect and in the choreo aspect. So I may just tie that too, and I'll just let the judges decide that. For me though, I mean, it could pull out as a tie because Septeni will get audience, but it could also, I mean, DYM could probably take it by an extensive amount. It just depends on who's on the panel this time, I think. I don't know, and I went through all the matches, so it's either I'm going to be like really wrong or I'll be pretty spot on. There's never like an in-between on these, but I had so much fun watching this round. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more D.LEAGUE, I am actively pursuing catching up on it, marathoning through all the rounds, really enjoying my time with it, and so just be on the lookout on YouTube. These will be coming out in due time. I always early release on Patreon, but by the time I catch up to the rounds, they'll just be, you know, going out on YouTube as I make them. So once again, my name is Jess. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.